Hey guys, welcome to another podcast of EVeRYWHERE Season 3. It's episode 5. Before we kick off the podcast this time though, I want to make sure to show you the Patreon page that you can see on YouTube, or you can go to the link below when you're listening to it on Spotify. There's a Patreon page set up for the league, which I use to support the content creators who invest time and resources to create content for the league. And I also try to get the website going for the database, for example, which we're using to keep track of all the stats that are happening for Secret Rivals League. We've been going for 4 seasons now, hoping to make it even more. So if you want to support this project and keep Conqueror's Blade going in a tournament scene, make sure to go to the Patreon page. There's already a couple guys in there, so thank you if you're willing to put your resources into something that you really enjoy a lot. Hope to see you soon. Enjoy the podcast. I also like it. Like, why is it serious? They don't get to play this week, so if Pondguard and Argonautas manage to get 2 points somewhere, doesn't matter where they get it, so they will be at 7 points, then why is it serious? So that suddenly is like 6th, and that would like demote them if they lose against Endgegner. So even if Endgegner have nothing to play for at the last game of the season, they could take Why So Serious down with them.
Yeah. I think they'd want to as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much memeing, to be honest with you, from Endgegner. You think there would, because they've had quite a bad season, but no. I think they'll be able to take a game of Pondguard, because it seems like Pondguard just lack defense.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? They've tied so many games. How many are they? Like 3? Yeah, 3 ties.
Yeah.
Only 1 win. Was it even a win? Yeah, the only win they got was against Apes, which is because Apes disbanded.
Yeah, and I think they're 4 losses against No Beaches as well. So yeah, the ties are just all attacks as well. I believe it was. So I feel like they might better take. I reckon Endgegner will take a game of Pondguard, which will mean Argonauts have to attempt to take a game off No Beaches. If not, then Argonauts are going to be 6th. And then Odin's and Buddy, they're pretty much fighting it out for a top spot, aren't they? Well, second at the moment. And Why So Serious have got the free win this week.
No. I mean, even Buddy could go down to 6th place, but that would be if they lose against Odin's, then lose against Argonautas. Even then, they would still get the tiebreaker probably for it. But
yeah, I think Odin's will beat Buddy. I feel like Odin's is a very surprising.
Buddy doesn't feel consistent at all right now.
No, well, it's weird. It's funny and it's weird. I don't think about it because I know quite a handful of the players in that team, and they are amazing territorial players. Like they are like the top. Like you talk about like the best shot callers and like the best kind of territory war players. 90% of this team is that, and I think it's that territory war mentality that they all have that bring them down in the tournament scene. Because even though their territory war meta is amazing, it doesn't seem that they're not really bringing it to their tournament meta too much. They're kind of playing it territory war wise in the tournament.
Yeah, I feel the same.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the first 3 weeks, I think, the first 2 rounds, like what Buddy would bring was basically the same lineup on every single player almost. No exotics. They would ban out all exotics, and they would just roll with, I think it was like Monks, Fortebraccio, Shieldbane or something.
Yeah.
Like,
which is like
players.
The perfect first 15 for a territory war attack.
Exactly, when you rotate in out units. Like,
yeah. And then you obviously get fresh people in when you die and whatnot. So, as a territory war team, insane. As a tournament team, they have lacked a lot this season. It's not like they're doing bad either. Like, they're third right now, 3 wins.
They are third right now, still fighting for first even. So,
yeah.
But you just feel like they should be better.
Yeah.
Or they definitely could be better. Yeah.
100%. Odin's is very surprising. They definitely came out fighting this season, which is good. Because only like last season and the season before, they weren't even doing that well either, were they? They were like kind of mid tier of the table. Now they're fighting for first place. Yeah, I see that going. I think Angegna can still bring something back if they really wanted to. I don't know. It depends how Susano's kind of like treating them in their own Discord right now. Are they kind of going, oh, right, we're not going to really try no more because, we're at the bottom here from like fair few points? Or are they going to look at some teams and go, all right, let's get something tasty together and fuck around with them a little bit?
Yeah, exactly.
And Argonauts had a rough week or so. They've dropped a few positions.
Yeah. Well, if I'm endgaming right now, I'm thinking, well, all right, so the next two matches that we have is basically against the two maybe weakest teams, relatively weakest teams in the league right now, Bond Guard, because they give up 3 points on the defense, and then Why So Serious, sure, they got a game against No Beaches, but before that, they weren't doing really well.
Yeah. Why So Serious have definitely gotten better throughout the season, 100%. At first, like, I think they're dropping games against people they shouldn't have really, or they should have had a better fight. But then, as the season's gone on, I think they've got more used to the meta from what I've been seeing in like, Discord and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it was also like Faust saying during the stream, even like, we've improved so much and we're really good right now. And I definitely want to believe that. Like they probably have made like huge improvements over the season, and they've been scrimming a lot, playing a lot.
Yeah, I think the players just started getting used to like what it's like to actually be in the tournament scene, and they understand that there might be like 100 of people watching them on stream and whatnot.
Yeah, that's too. And also, I think players realizing what they should do. Like Faust, for example, he started out the season as the shot caller or the new shot caller, and then I think at some point Grease said, "All right, you're not ready for being shot caller, so go back to being a player." And now he's doing his job as a player extremely well.
Yeah.
Well, others probably lead the team or make the calls during the game, so that probably really helps them.
And to be honest with you, like being a shot caller is a lot more responsibility than what people think. Definitely when you're on the front lines as well. If you're an overview, you have that slack to be able to kind of watch the map a bit better. But when you're actually on the ground itself, that's where like you've really got to be careful with your shot calling and whatnot, and where your own positioning is as well. Like, if you're a heavy armor player and you're a shot caller, like you've got to make sure you're in the fight just as much as everyone else, as well as call out. So it can be quite a complex job that people don't really understand until they've actually tried it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and it's also like they're really good team captains like Temple Shot, just to name one. It's always very vocal about how he is a team captain, doesn't want to lead on the front. He's just sitting back, right, playing the long sword, or Paul actually just defending the units at the back and making sure that he is able to get the overview.
Yeah.
Because it is so different. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. I used to do similar as well, because I used to be a shot caller for one of the houses back in Territory War times, and whenever I did defense, I'd personally make sure I was on, like, playing the game. But I'd bring, like, this is back in the day when like Pavis were like meta, so I could actually sit back with my Pavis, do its job while also watching the map. But these sieges, they can be very hard and fast, so shot callers get put under a tremendous amount of pressure before, like, very quickly. Definitely if they're bringing units like stalwarts and monks and whatnot.
Yeah, where you just get a one shot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely true. I mean, it's and still, I mean, and also like I think people maybe when they come from TW and they are where they are also probably shot callers. It's very different from tournaments because you can go into spectator mode and chill out and just keep shouting and pinging.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Press set all the time just to get the whole map in your face.
Oh yeah, exactly. Or if you did want to like kind of pull back and try and do that, then that's technically 14v15 people right now.
Yeah.
And, you don't want that.
Exactly. Yeah. I was always thinking like, for example, not sure if this is a strategy to go for, but like Susno is often like going off somewhere, interrupting a supply, dying as one of the first of his team, and I'm always secretly thinking to myself, maybe this is like his try to be big brain, just die first, get some use out of his death, suicide the unit, and then go into overview and try and make the best calls.
I wouldn't be surprised if people do that, to be fair. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that, because as a shot caller, you don't really want to be going off by yourself, because you need to see what's happening on the front line, ideally. Like, because as a shot caller, you should know if you're winning or losing like a fight. So to be like the flanker or to go off and do your own thing, it can be very dangerous, because the time it could take him to, like, let's say, run outside and jump on a supply point to die.
Exactly.
At the same time, they could have pushed 20, like, all 15 through and pushed through your whole team. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you going to shot call this now, mate? And I think it's a Sutner as well. Like, he's a short sword as well. So they're ideally used on the front line to, do the belly flops and whatnot to open it up for his team. So it can work well, but you've got to be very used to how to do it, and you've got to have a lot of trust in your team to be able to hold that line.
Yeah, definitely. And it's quite different, right? When you look at Amya, even last weekend, once again, he's always sitting on the flank, always sitting on a supply, and he, like, we know from speaking to the team that he is like making calls about when he is able to make some play, and then his team that are grouped can then like capitalize on his plays, and that's definitely the better play, because the flank might also just dramatically fill, and then if that guy is the person who should be making the calls of whether you go in or not, you probably just don't feel the flow of the fight anymore.
Exactly. And also, like, with people like Amya, they're so well in tuned with doing these kind of flank plays that the team can, trust him to make these calls and to make these pushes and whatnot, because he is a very experienced player and knows what he's doing. So if he's like, guys, go in now, like, they're like, well, you have little reason to not trust you right now, because obviously you might have something going on in your head right now that might work, or he might have just wiped a unit or something that's important on the push, where it lets your team be able to push back. So I think this is what also happens with a lot of defense plans, is that not a lot of them are aggressive. They're very much like, we'll hold this one position, go from there. And No Beaches, I think, are one of the only teams where, like, on their defenses, they like to be like really aggressive.
Yeah, which is what really surprised me last weekend, because they didn't do that. They just went to base and tried to set up the defense there, and then it was still like semi-aggressive, trying to like flank on top of the wall. But we had seen that before, and it worked definitely.
Yeah, I think this is Kirk Castle, to be fair with you, because the final point is very open to attack from all angles.
Yeah.
You got the two little gateways in the front. You've got above them on the staircase, and then also around the back of them as well. There's like two ways from around the back. So I feel like on defense for that map, at least, like, you have so many different areas to cover, and if you don't cover the right area at the right time or rotate fast enough, your defense is on the back foot big time.
Yeah, probably. And of course, like, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm like the big brain galaxy here, but when I look at No Beaches and I see like Amya Vasectomy always being on the flank and really using like the big space that could be on the map, if you turtle in on the final point in Core Castle, they just don't have that much space to work with.
No.
Compared to when you try and defend the A point or the B point, or even inside the city, right? Like Argonautes did.
Yeah.
Or tried at least. Didn't work because like older specialists got called out very effectively by Odin's. Like, they just got picked apart by Odin's Legion. It was really impressive.
Yeah, that's definitely like one big thing about the flanker on that map. Yeah, you need a lot of space to be able to like operate properly. You want to use all those little corridors and whatnot to be able to get that like ideal flank off. And endpoint's very kind of encased of what you can really do. Definitely on defense on that endpoint. Like, you are technically, that is one of the few maps where you are technically just like withheld from actually really like going out and doing something. Like, if you look at like something like Hidden City, there's like, there's 3-4 ways into the endpoint, but as a flanker, you've got so much room where you could get cav and just gone a jolly easily enough and be able to take out certain positions with little resistance or make the big plays.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like, so right, next week is White Oak Fort, and then the last week is Hidden City. So I think Hidden City is a really good map. White Oak Fort, we had that in round 3.
Yeah.
So
I think it's round 3. Round 2 or 3.
That was where No Beaches took on Yeah Buddy, and they won that like really convincingly.
Yeah, that's why Amya took down the breach and
exactly
wiped out half of their attack.
Yeah, that was impressive, and it's also the map where last season Amya made a huge play in the back against, I think it was no
That was like the cab charge.
Yeah, there was the cab charge in the back, like double cab, and then he got out his Chevaliers as well, and just destroyed the gate. It was insane.
Yeah. Whiteout's really good for both attack and defense. There's just so many options with that map. And obviously, like a lot of it relies on like getting the breaches open. I think you can destroy the new update. You can destroy the gate as well, like the foundations of it. So you don't even really need to push a battering ram much into that. And it's there's so many different ways to attack and defend that map. I think that's what Origin really loves about Territory Wars. Like over the last couple of seasons with this map, like anyone who's been fighting for main capital over the last couple of seasons has been playing this map near enough religiously, like weekly.
Yeah,
and it's a big enough map where so many different strategies can be implemented. So many, because it's just big enough, and there's so many openings.
Yeah. I'm really curious what the bans are going to be, because we didn't have the new calf, the Yan Yao Do calf, during the round 3, and now it is there, and you could see it with White Series against No Beaches, that the team that's better on paper wants to ban Falconetti because it's kind of like a coin flip if you let it through, or it can be on some maps, and then of course the new calf can also be a coin flip because it just makes probably attack quite easy or easier. So yeah,
Echoz are just, they're insane. If they're put up in the right position at the right time, like you blob attacks just non-existent. Falcos would destroy everything. Same with Flamers. Flamers are a bit more easier to jump into, so heavy armors can get into Flamers a little bit easier than Falcos. But if left alone, Flamers can just, or if they're well protected, Flamers can absolutely decimate a blob. But I do feel like the new Cav will get banned out because it is just so strong.
It is. Yeah, but
like Sieges literally come down to what team has the most new Cav.
Yeah, definitely. But the interesting thing is with the way the ban system works, if the first team doesn't ban the new Cav, then the second team gets to not ban it and then select it on their first select if they want to play it.
Which
it puts a lot of pressure on the team that's banning first, which is the first attacker, to actually decide if they want to play it or not. Because if they don't decide, then the next team will. Yeah. Of course, that's the way any ban works. But
yeah, it's quite interesting because it's not like League of Legends where you ban a champion. Like you're banning a champion for a reason, because you're like, right, I don't want to play against this champion, so I'm going to ban him. So then I can pick something that I can be comfortable going into, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where with this ban system, like if they don't ban a new Cav and the new Cav gets saved, that means it's going to be, well, both teams can use a new Cav.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's
everyone's well known it's broken, and you just like,
it's still not the worst, because you can also play it, but then the question is who can play it better.
Yeah,
which
and
is
I feel like
fair in a way.
And I also feel like it depends on the map as well. So for Whiteout, I do feel like the new Cav will be better on the attack side, so you'll probably see whoever's attacking first will probably try and save that.
Yeah. Well, and I think it could be really good on the defense because the supply is so close. So if the attackers don't get the block on supply, you can just get out the Cav,
clear the point.
Clear the point, and you keep winning that way.
Yeah. So even then, it's a lot of a coin flip. I think it depends on what teams have set up to like kind of counter it. If they've got like, if they're like, right, we're going to save it, let it get through. The enemy team can bring 10 units of it if they want, because we've got this unit that will absolutely decimate it. Because like recently, like with monks, there's like people are finding more and more ways to like counter them. Like one of the better units I saw, and one of the more fun units as well to counter them, was axe throwers.
Oh, really?
It's just such a random unit to.
It is. I haven't even seen
be
that
a counter for monks. But apparently their axe throw, like if they're 1-on-1, their axe throw can just absolutely demolish monks.
Oh, crazy.
So,
I'm still using the good old imp shields because they just won't die.
Yeah, they're really strong at the moment as well. I've been seeing videos on like montages with them. And it's just a mole in the middle of him, just like slowly moving forward, and he's just clearing the whole blob out. It's like, damn, okay.
Insane. Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's not spectacular, so this feels really slow, but it is insane how long you survive for.
Also,
with no Dachi, you get another damage reduction, I think, on yourself, and then you can also start healing a lot. Really fun combination as well.
You just can't complain at all. I feel like It's nice that they're coming back into the meta a little bit as well, because I feel like they've been dead for so long.
Yeah.
So they haven't been able to come back in a little bit more relevance. It's nice. It'll be interesting to see what happens next season. Like, the meta's been completely blown open this season. I do feel like it's every time that CB decide to release something like a new Cav, I don't think they can balance Cav very well.
Yeah, Cav's just really hard. Like, any Cav that came out, Leo Rangers, Chevaliers.
Yeah, Kashyyyks rework, Kata rework.
Yep.
Liao's,
Yep.
Chevs, like they've all been.
Armigers even the purple
Armigers, yeah, literally even purple.
Maybe the only one prefecture, the prefecture Cav as well. Also the Dagger lances. The only Cav that didn't work really well was CPs.
Yeah, they've never been relevant. I think they tried buffing them at one point, and just everyone was like, "No, they're still trash."
Yeah. They apparently do have the longest, what is it, stun in the game or something, but yeah.
No one cares, do they?
No one cares. Yeah, it's just too hard to set up apparently.
Yeah. No one cares.
And I mean, stuns are really good. You can see it with the flames and stuff, but just not good enough apparently.
Yeah, they're just not good enough for the player base. So like that,
not easy enough.
Cap is still trash.
Yep. Just won't get there. And then there's of course still the Red and Rangers. I'm so sad they're not that good anymore. I did have a really fun game yesterday with them where I got like 5 hero kills and 60 unit kills. So.
I'm about to say, you might be able to bring them back a little bit at the moment because there's not really a lot of shield walls happening.
Yeah, exactly. It was the thing. I was facing so many for the watch shows and they were just way too slow. I could just like go back to the supply, refill, and keep going. Yeah, I
can imagine it. Yeah, it worked really well. Because at the moment, like one of my favorite units to use is just Janissaries. I just love being able to set them up in a little location and just watching just shoot down like a whole unit of 40s. And I'm like, just a leadership like between the two of them right there.
Yep.
Taking out a full purple unit of just my low tier blue unit.
Yeah, it feels a good moment.
Yeah,
for sure.
So definitely taking advantage of them while I can. I think it's been my favourite unit this season actually, Janissaries.
Yeah, that's really nice for sure. Yeah.
Just like put them in a corner and just running off as a dual blade doing my thing.
Yeah, so I definitely do think that like no beaches on White Oak. I think it's one of the best maps for them. Where it's really hard for Argonautas to either take the defense or the attack, because on the attack, they need to keep blocking the supply and do it perfectly, and also not have Amya in their back, which is impossible on White Oak. You just can't send 2 or 3 guys to Amya, because if you only send 1, he's gonna die. If you send 2 or 3, you're gonna lose the front fight. So
it's gonna be very interesting.
It's gonna be impossible. And then the defense, if Argonautas defense, no beach is probably on the attack just so much better.
No beaches just be looking at those muskets. They'll just be like, right, what can we throw bombs on? Because
Yep.
White Oak, like the wall above, just you've got so much like room for a musket to throw a bomb on anything on that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I do know that a lot of teams, like, they'll purposely watch No Beaches to watch Amya to see what does he do. Yeah, even out in Why So Serious, we're like watching back one of the videos and they're like, right, watch Amya, like spectate Amya. We had a scrim with him. It's like, right, someone just purely spectate Amya just to see what he does. Like,
yeah, exactly. It is so interesting, right? And I guess it would be the same with Lazy Imperator, for example. Like what he's doing with the Scimitar is just insane. I mean, I just don't get how he does it, but
he's very good with the chain dart. Yeah. Very good. And definitely recently, where he's just got this like god roll of his chain dart. Just he is, It seems like ever since the weapon came out, he fell in love with it. He's constantly been playing it. And where a lot of people have gone, right, we've played it for its brokenness. It's been like balanced out now. We can leave it alone. He's like, nah, this is gonna be my new Wayne weapon.
Yeah, and definitely still broken.
And the thing is, like, I played some sieges with him earlier today, and like it was me, him, Balthasar, and Center, and we had another guy who we were swapping them out constantly for like 5-6 sieges. Lazy would jump off the wall and start fighting people, and like no fear at all from this guy as well. Like even I'm thinking like, should I help? I was like, no, all right, I'm gonna have to jump down the help from here. Like it's 3v1 right now. I can't just watch from up here.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he's not afraid. Like he's very skilled as well. Like he's moving around constantly.
Absolutely. And so I checked out his stats in the database, and this is what makes the database so cool as well, I think, is that He played with Blame Elias on the first season. He played with Slavs a few seasons later.
Yeah.
All feudal. And he always played heavy classes. So pole axe, short sword. Those were his main two. And he's actually, even then, he was getting a lot of like 5 hero kills, 6, 7 hero kills. But averaging probably 4, or 3, which is already really good. But then with the scimitar, he just keeps popping off and getting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 last weekend. He had 18 in total on the last round, around 5. So it's a whole different beast now.
Yeah, it's quite surprising in some ways. I think I was quite similar with like my kind of road with dual blade as well, where I started off as a heavy armor, I started off as Maul, and then after like 4 or 5 seasons, I went to spear for 1 or 2 seasons, and then that's when I started like transitioning into dual blade. So I can definitely see him. Like, I understand the whole starting off as like heavy armor, and it's really good to start off as like heavy armor before going into like an assassin class, because you learn the game, you learn that battle knowledge and stuff, like the awareness.
You learn how to play the units as well, because you don't die at the very first engage.
Yeah, exactly. It's really weird when you first start going to like these assassin classes, because you do get killed so often. Yeah. You just realize how like squishy you really are. You're like, oh god, here we go. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that is right.
It's crazy how long he's been around for, because he's made a big name for himself over the last couple of seasons with his chain dart. Like one of the first times I proper heard about him was last season's capital fight against Eden, and he was like on supply point. I think he capped like 26 kills or something in a single life in territory wars. Just chain dart shield maidens. Just
yeah, that's it. That's nuts.
And ever since then, like, he's been quite a well-known player around.
Yeah, and now definitely Shogun on Buddy, by the way, which is also another thing that I thought was really impressive. Because Buddy, not the team that's doing the best right now. They're doing well, but not the best. And then to get that many kills, even if you get stunned by no beaches in round 3, and you still end up like highest in total hero kills, pretty impressive. And he also missed out the game, I think, somewhere. So he only had 5 out of 6 games in 3 rounds.
It's really good.
Yeah, so pretty good. Yeah, so and then what I also think is interesting is that the Endgegner in Pongard, Endgegner is attacking first. So after 1 game, we probably know if it's a tie, because Pongard gets to attack after that.
Yeah, and their attacks have been amazing all season.
Absolutely. And also especially in Wild Oak, like they've done some really cool stuff with specialists and whatnot. And yeah, so we'll see. But they also really know how to like fight at staircases.
Yeah.
I think there's like certain teams that you can say are really good at certain locations on a map. That doesn't even matter what map it is, but you just know they're really good at a gate, or they're good at a breach, or they're good at going down, or good at fighting for a supply, stuff like this. And Pondegard definitely a team that's really good at fighting around staircases, I think.
I think they're going to do quite well on this map. As I said, I reckon it will be 1-1, because their defense has always been a little bit poorer than their attack. But as I said, their attack, like ever since the Buddy like first week where that big upset happened, it's like, okay, they've carried it on pretty well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
at least for the attacks,
yeah, at least for the attacks, yeah. They got the most ties out of everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're basically, absolutely, yeah.
So it's quite interesting.
3. We've never had a team that's had so many ties. Like, never ever. Even in a Rust Taken in Plains, never have I seen a team get more than 2 ties. I think Wise Series even is the second team ever to get 2 ties in a season, probably. It's nuts, yeah.
To be fair, I think up until this season, like there's always been you just knew who was going to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Each game near enough. Like there's always a dominating team, and normally when it was like it's very rare that it would be like a tie in any way.
Yeah.
Unless it was like 2 of the top teams, like let's say Surfslayers and Plebs. That's where you might potentially see a tie. But if it was like Immortals versus Origin, you know that Origin are going to take them out.
There always seemed to be a really big gap between any 2 teams, and now that gap is
really squished down, isn't it?
It really depends on the day, the map, the unit bans, whatnot.
Yeah, you just can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way it should be, though.
Oh,
I like
absolutely.
it. I really like it. I like.
It's what makes it really fun to keep watching. Like any game is interesting. Like Endgegner may be the weakest team, but like you said, because Pondguard's been getting so many ties, it could be a really interesting game. Just even if it's not the best quality of play, it's gonna be really interesting to watch and see if Endgegner can actually get a point, maybe even get a win. And if the Endgegner gets a win, then next week, the week after the Weiss series, if Endgegner gets another win, they could even stay in feudal. Or if they just get the 1 point against Pondguard, then if Endgame can win against Weiss Series and Pondguard are forced to play a tiebreaker for like 6th place and decide who's going to demote. Like there's still so much going on for any team. That's really cool.
This is the first time I've seen so many teams so close together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously between No Beaches and Gegner, you're looking at like 9 points, which obviously is a big thing. But then 2nd and 6th, 3 points. That's a game and a half between 6 teams. Like it's nothing really.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, no, I see plenty.
And
of
even like and even from like third to 6th. 6th is demoting. Third is like top 3 really good, and it's only 2 points. So only if you lose one, you could be 6th, or if you win one, you could be 3rd.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's really cool. And that's also what makes Odin's Legion against Buddy really interesting. So if No Beaches for some reason lose any single game in their match, then Odin's Legion and Buddy, the one that wins their match, will most likely play No Beaches on a tiebreaker for the season win. Although if No Beaches, if No Beaches lose, not gonna happen. Odin's could even have enough with just 1 point to force a tiebreaker. Yeah.
I'd love to see Argonauts take two games off him. I'd love to see it.
That would be really cool.
No Beaches, they could potentially drop 1 game, and then that's when I can imagine them in VC like, guys, we're not gonna let this happen.
Yeah, well, then nothing's gonna happen here. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of dropped it a little bit with Why So Serious, and to do it again, it's I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like they're gonna know this.
Yeah, then they would just be trolling a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe trying really hard to get Amiya, I don't know, like 20 kills in 1 game to make sure he still gets his 4th Assassin Award this season.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Yeah. You could probably see him having a bit of fun. I don't know, actually. They might have a bit of fun with Argonauts because obviously they got the 2-3 wins from Apes in the last game, haven't they? So.
Yeah, they are ahead by 3 points right now. But so the Apes match, it can be like kind of tricky because No Beaches already have the points. So if you compare them to Odin's Legion and Buddy, you should be thinking No Beaches only has 9 points right now.
Yeah.
So practically they're only ahead by 1 point to Odin's and 2 points to Buddy.
Yeah, but sadly with that win at the bottom there, just means that this week's going to be their final game until playoffs, and with the points now, they are kind of guaranteed that first.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, are they going to curb stomp Argonauts or are they going to have a bit of fun? I don't know. I think that they'll probably look at curb stomping and be like, we refuse to drop another game, or they might be like, all right, we've dropped a game now, let's just have a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
we'll see. It's gonna be good. And then the week after that we'll see. But like Pondguard Odin's gonna be good. Argonautas Buddy also gonna be good, especially because if Argonautas, assuming they only get 1 point or 0 points, if Buddy lose against Odin's, which maybe we expect, then Argonautas Buddy is going to decide maybe 3rd place. They could even get a tiebreaker out of that one, depending on who wins. And then Weiss Series and Gegner is still like who gets the demote match, most likely. So no matter what the result is, it's going to be interesting even in the last round. I like that.
Same. I like how anything can happen.
Yeah, that's good. Should we go for Rustic? Like, Rustic is going to start the playoffs. So it's going to be Reginopolis, and then did you check out the Bombard glitch? Do you know about it?
Yeah, so it's like if you line it up in a certain way and aim in a certain area, and then I saw a video of it.
Yeah,
I haven't done it myself personally.
Yeah, it's really funny. You can basically hit any place on the map. Apparently, I used to think it was only like the curve runs above the wall like right next to the bridges. But apparently you can hit anywhere on the map, like A gate, C point. It doesn't matter what you want, you can hit it all. My games hasn't been able to fix it yet. I even checked, but yeah, so it's still there. So like if teams use it, it's considered using artillery because it's just not fun if teams keep playing.
Yeah, no.
Only
And the
for
thing
bombards.
is as well, like if you've got a whole week to, well, actually they've got from now near enough until then to really be able to like,
Yeah, to master the bombard.
yeah,
Yeah, that would be no fun gameplay.
no,
You would force a team to sally out, destroy the bombards, and then continue the game as usual.
yeah. But it depends because by that point you could probably lose 200-300 units if
Yeah, true.
it's placed in a good enough position, and yeah, you technically lost the game no matter even if you sally or not anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to keep an eye on that then when Reggie happens.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta
To
make
make sure
sure.
no one's being cheeky.
Exactly. Gotta make sure it's being played fairly. But I'm sure teams will record their own matches and let us know if anything unfair happened there. But yeah. Oh yeah, and Golems is going to play the Primes for 5th place in Rustec. So that will be another tiebreaker match because they were tied in points. They were also tied in the last round result. So they still got a score to settle this Sunday before the playoffs begin. So that's like a nice warm-up match as well. I like it.
Definitely.
And some more game time for them. Yeah. But yeah, Notes from Free win and Nice Try were 1st place in both groups. So Group A, Group B. And then TBD from NA and Lanfair were placed 2nd in both groups. So Notes from Free win gonna play TBD. And then Nice Try gonna play Lanfair. The one that win in the semifinals is guaranteed to have a spot for Feudal. Whether they go on or not will be seen later.
The Temple will be back in Feudal.
Yeah, who knows? Rumor has it that something is going to change mid-season, or in between seasons, but we'll see. It's still a long way to go to season 4. So yeah, the one that win the semifinal are guaranteed to have a feudal spot, and then the ones that lose the semifinal still get to play the bronze match for that 3rd place to go to feudal division. So either what are you expecting like in these matches?
I feel like Temple's team are stupidly powerful.
Yeah,
like a lot of them are CBL players in the top houses in the game. Like they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of the players from Rustic are just kind of borderland houses, as we would call them. Not tryhards. They want to come, like, you know, take part in the tournament to have a bit of fun and to like learn the tournament scene.
Mm-hmm.
So Temple's team definitely have like the upper hand in all that. TBD is going to be interesting because I noticed recently in the team registration channel that they've literally swapped out half their team. So who knows?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand if they swapped out like 1 or 2 players, but swapping out like I think it's 8. Yeah, that's a
True. 8
big amount of
players.
players.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what to expect of that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like. Honestly, I looked through the names and I was like, I don't even recognize.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't recognize. I noticed that some players used to play on a team before, but not any familiar names that I've seen playing with, like Goblins from NA before, or Pond Guard, or any of the other NA teams. So if these are all NA players, I don't know. Whether it's going to be a playoff buff or a debuff, we're going to find out.
Just don't know. Are these guys level 500 or level 5,000? Like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know none of them. Like, I'm reading their names down and I'm like, yeah, no. I think, yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So...
Just no, yeah. I might be playing at really weird times this Friday and Saturday just to see if I can find them in the sieges or the ranked battles and have a chat with them. We'll see.
So, anyway, looking forward to it, boys.
Yeah. So you're going to be playing semifinals this weekend. Are you even good, or what's going on there?
Let's have a look what you're like in this siege.
Yeah. 1v1 me, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything can happen in that one.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, if a team's going to be making this many swaps before going into these playoffs, they must have some kind of like strategy behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But,
absolutely.
Yeah, and Nice Try and Lana felt that Wincrow's team.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, Wincrow,
and Alex,
obviously really good player. Yeah, and Alex,
pretty troll player.
Yeah, but they're good as well. Like, you know, they've got good at the game and then they start having fun. and
Exactly.
so I feel like the name that we can't pronounce probably will take it. I'm trying to find the lineup for Nice Try quickly.
Yeah, Nice Try, a pretty good team, I gotta say. I mean, of course they ended first, so they are a good team, absolutely. So I'm definitely expecting this one to be even closer, maybe than TBD, because no scrim free win with Temple leading, and not sure if he will be leading. By the way, he might be casting, we'll see. But um, even then, their players have played Reginopolis in tournament settings so many times, like they just it's like their second nature to know what needs to happen on that map, I think. But Nice Try, Lanfair. Well, Lanfair, of course, also has many players that have played on this map so many times before as well.
Ooh, yeah, I'm now looking at the names here. So we got WHERE's team. Yeah, we got WHERE, got Blood Story.
It's a lot of Sure Slayer players.
Yeah, you got Lorca here, Apache, Ripcat, Roxard, Tinjev. We don't see Tinjev play. I Am Shen, Esponja, Gladsheen. Yeah, like these guys are all, they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then Nice Try. I know Otto, Samurai. Yeah, a couple of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Allison. I do feel like WHERE's team should have this, but
yeah, but I'm not even sure. Like Machuca, team captain, a good player, but also they have so many good players that have been playing a lot in really good Turkish teams. Like Aminu, Luanlukur, Samurai Keku, Valley, Apesart, Yen, Kublai. They've all been good teams. I think it's a lot of guys from Impact. I don't know if you remember that team, but they were first in playing in season 2, I think.
Yeah.
Or season 1.
You take the Turkish players a lot of them
really
as well.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the Turkish community in this game are very strong. I know that a couple of seasons ago, you had a Cray with his kebab squad, and they were like, they weren't even a part of Origin or anything, and they were known to be like the best raid.
Yeah, they're just so good, so aggressive, so like individually skilled. The only thing with the Turkish houses or teams is that they come, they rise, they hit really hard, they're really good, and then they get internal fighting or something's going on and they disband. So I'm just hoping this one's gonna stay. Nice Try is definitely gonna be a really good match, I think, against Lanfair. So I'm hoping for tiebreakers there. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I could definitely see it happening. Like a lot of really strong, good players.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I feel like this would probably be even bigger than like the Feud finals. To be fair, but look at the athletes' names. I'm like, actually, damn, all right. So you got people like Roxa, Ripcats, Tinjev, like these are CBL finalist players.
Yeah, exactly. Esponja's there. Gladsheim just got in as well. Arnanor, it's just insane the amount of players that are there. Yeah. So they didn't scrim, just like no scrim free win. So like they're taking a chill season, but it's still like feudal quality team on paper.
Yeah.
That are just playing to have fun, and maybe they are even better when they're playing to have fun because they're just so good.
Exactly. You're gonna be relaxed. You're not caring what's happening, and a lot of the guys, are hero killers. So get given a chance to kind of let the leash off, they're gonna have a good time.
Exactly. They're gonna rip your head off. Yeah. So again, if Nice Try or TBD, I think, come up with a really good game plan, really good team play, then and don't make like pretty big mistakes, then I definitely do think they got a chance. But it's gonna be hard for them for sure. I mean, if you go to grasslands, you can always surprise someone there, because it can be such a chaos on that map.
Yeah, 100%. Good feel that.
We'll see. It's gonna be a good one for sure. I'm still hoping just for tiebreakers and feudal as well. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Same.
Fingers crossed. Pray to the like scenario gods. Script. Write the script. Stuff like
that. I think this is generally one of the first seasons where teams are so diverse. It's nice to see that they're all actually fighting on like the similar kind of level now. Yeah. As I said, in the past, like there was just a massive gap between like the first and last team, and you always knew who was going to win. Where now it's squashed down a lot, and I could see like probably future seasons, it's going to get more and more squashed down where anything can happen. It will all mainly depend on like the day, how well your team's going to do.
Yeah, it might be for sure. I think teams are definitely getting more teams are getting better at tournament play. Before some teams were good at tournament play and only good at TWs, and now more teams start to understand how tournament play is different.
Yeah,
I think that makes a huge difference in how teams are faring up against each other. And then I think something else that's changing is the unit bans, because now, you can like focus more on the strengths that your team has, or try to ignore the strengths that the other team has by banning out specific units and going for a certain strategy. Like UPSeTs, for example, against No Beaches. One of the reasons they probably won was because they like banned Falconet. No Beaches banned Falconetti. I think they banned Sicalian, and then they were able to select a new Cav, and then they also banned out the Javelins to make sure No Beaches couldn't defend the A point even if they wanted to. So like, you can definitely come up with a really creative strategy to bait someone in. Even if it may not always work out, of course, but still.
Yeah, you can really use a ban system actually to proper fuck people over, to be fair with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of these guys, all these tournament players, a lot of them make montages.
Mm-hmm.
The problem about making these montages is that they like to show off their favourite units.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got 2-3 players that you know of on the enemy team who are insane at like imp javs or jav sergeants or whatever, you might purposely make sure that you ban a javelin unit just to kind of throw them off a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because you do see that in the montages where like people use like jav sergeants, they'll get like one clean throw and take out like 6 people. And you're like, oh shit, like maybe we should not play against this if we're we're literally about to fight on the same map.
Yeah, exactly. Or for example, if you see a team like Yabadi playing only Forte Braccio, Shield Maiden, and Monks in the first 3 games, ban Forte Braccio, ban Monks, and then see what they come up with.
Yeah, because if you can pin like the main unit that a team setup is gonna play, like and ban it, that team's then gonna go, shit, what are we gonna replace this unit with, because it's kind of the center of our team. So I feel like this happened very well with was it the UPSeTs match?
Yeah, against No Beaches or
on Hidden City.
Oh yeah, that might as well be. When was that? That was
a couple weeks
round 4. Yeah, round 4 against Argonautas. Oh yeah, UPSeTs. That was the first match UPSeTs won. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that a good chunk of players from UPSeTs have been playing very a lot with like the new unit and the monks. I'm pretty sure the majority of them actually brought the unit on the day it came out just to get as much practice in as possible with them. So they were very keen on taking a new cav into like the Hidden City. And obviously at the time, I think it was only like a week or so after the new cav even got released. So it completely screwed up the meta for Argonauts and any other team trying to run this strategy, and it worked.
Yeah, just being first on the hype train. If you can get there, it's really good.
Exactly. So yeah, if you can pinpoint the right units at the right time to save and to ban, it can really mess around one team and save another team.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And at the moment,
we'll find out. I'm so curious. We'll see.
100%.
It's gonna be good. Yeah, so also got something special prepped for Sunday. Hopefully it will be there in time. It's gonna be fun.
Well, you ordered something.
Say again?
You ordered something, have you?
Kinda, yeah. I'm cooking something with Crystal from Farquhar Squad.
Yeah.
So there will be some cool content. Hopefully it gets finished before Sunday, and then it's gonna be cool.
That'd be good.
So, not gonna spoil it yet, but it's gonna be good. I hope, or at least be really funny.
Like it.
Yep, absolutely. Or to fail miserably, and then we still can have a laugh. Either way, it's gonna end up well. So we'll see.
Have a good laugh.
Exactly. Yeah. So sadly, Imperative didn't join. But that's fine. We'll get him next time.
Yeah.
He was too lazy in the end, I guess.
It's literally in his name.
Yeah. What's in the name, isn't it? That's good. Yeah, we'll see. All right. So I did record it. Don't to make sure you know it.
That's fun.
So I think it was a good chat anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that's a good thing about these podcasts. I think it should just be like a chilled out chat, having a good laugh.
Yeah.
And Jeremy just talking trash, loving it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing. I mean, just keep on talking or whatever. And if someone wants to listen it, then good fun. And if not, then we had a good conversation and prepped for Sunday. So
100%.
Yeah.
Like I know Temple and Drayton have been doing the same with their podcast at the moment. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I listened to a bit of it. It was really long, like almost 2 hours, but pretty good stuff in there with Evo Gaming joining as well.
Yeah.
Always good to have him in there because he's just the guy that's attracting the most people to Congress Blade right now.
The goat, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I saw on the Temple and Drayton a little bit about it and whatnot, and they've got like 9 episodes planned. And I know that Temple can talk a lot, so as soon as they released that first video, they initially told me, because I was in the VC with them while they start like setting this all up and stuff, and like who they're going to like have as their guests and all that. And I was like, oh, so how long do you reckon each episode's going to be? And their answer was 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20. Well, it became almost 2 hours, so barely.
That's I was just sat there like, oh my god.
Like, even definitely a bit too long for my taste, but I will just decide to like cut it into pieces of 30 minutes or something and listen to it somewhere on my commute. You can take the whole week to listen to it, but might not get the whole thing.
Exactly. That's like I jumped in VCs with them just so they could like I had a chat with them so they could like test it with their recording and whatnot. And even our chat alone was nearly half hour long, and they asked me exactly the same questions they're going to be asking like Evo and whatnot. And we were purposely like cutting this off. Like we get halfway through a conversation, go right, let's stop, let's go on to the next question.
Yeah.
As soon as I said it'd be 15 to 20 minutes, I was like, mate, our conversation here was half an hour long. Like,
genius. Yeah, just genius. And that's definitely the tricky part. If you aim for less, you're gonna get more.
Oh, 100%. Definitely when you have like, Temple is a talker. He loves having that conversation, and when he gets a chance to really like kind of vocalize his opinion, like he can go on quite a bit, and it does get really entertaining as well because so much time can just fly by without you really knowing.
Absolutely, and then if you also add in people like EVeRYWHERE who has like so many stories to tell about the game because he's been in there for so long, and he also knows how to talk, right? I mean, he's making all these videos, so.
Exactly, you put these
really
two together.
Storytelling. Yeah.
Exactly, none of them are going to be stopping within 5 minutes. They're going to keep it going.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's definitely fun. I really like listening to podcasts sometimes. Of course, it's also one of the reasons why I created one because it's just really good to have something that's consistent, like content for even doesn't matter what you're doing, but it's just so consistent and it's easy accessible as well. Just good stuff.
I agree, man. Honestly, I do agree. Like. It's not that this is like starting to get more and more like embedded into the community because I feel like up until I'd say probably the end of the first season of the CBR, like the only real content you'd get would be like montages or like you'd have the CBL each season pretty much.
Yeah.
They even ended like they stopped the CBL for quite a while, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So other than that, like the players didn't really have much to kind of like listen to get the information they wanted out of the game. So to have like these podcasts going off, to have like these like the CBR and whatnot, like starting to get created and get more time invested into it, it's really starting to help out the community in a really positive way.
I gotta say, so like something I'm really hoping for with the content is that teams start to create like team YouTube pages.
Yeah.
And that they start showing off like I don't know, special plays or like player stuff, stories, or even like voice comms. I would really love to get like voice comms from matches. That would be so fun.
Just like League.
Yeah, exactly. Just like League. Like just copy what they're doing. It's such a good quality. Like
I could honestly see that happening. I feel like at the moment we're still in the place where teams are kind of just forming their main 20. Like I feel like for probably even another season or so, we're going to see a lot of people coming in and out of teams and whatnot. But eventually, the teams will be quite solid with each other, like with their main 20 and whatnot. And I think that's when we're going to start seeing more and more content coming out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we have to start seeing a couple of videos from some teams from like the CBL and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the one that recently just happened. So seeing it in the CBR as well, I wouldn't be shocked. I think there will be like a couple of decent rivalries happening over the next couple of seasons.
Yeah. And also, I'm definitely expecting something when teams come back. Like for example, if Surf Slayer or Plebs come back at some point, I would definitely expect something with it to come as well. Because there's so many talented like creators with the videos and all that.
Yeah. All it takes is just one or two of them to be a part of that tournament team and start really enjoying it, get a little bit of a rivalry going with someone else, and yeah, that's it. You'll see the YouTube videos getting uploaded.
Exactly.
So we do see one or two at the moment that come up. They're more meme videos and gameplay team videos, but
there's tons of memes in the community. Always,
yeah,
and always is. Yeah.
PvP game for you, innit? Like,
actually, now that you mention it, I think Odin's Legion really had some quality. I'm not sure if it was Ragnarok himself who did it, the team captain, but in season 1. They used clips from, I think, Vikings to create like kind of a match summary with like what happened. That was really fun. That was really fun. I'll see if I can link it somewhere because that was really good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I want to have a look at this. Yeah, there are a lot of talented like content creators within the community. It's just as long as they have the free time and they're like invested in it and they're enjoying it and they want to do it, like you see it. I think, do you see the Rohirrim guys with that House Alpha?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. So
seen those videos?
Yeah, absolutely, because the guy behind it is Crystal. One of the guys behind it is Crystal, and he's also making all the videos for CB Rivals and also doing all the overlays and stuff.
Oh, that's decent. I'm about to say I watched some of those videos and like the cinematic like clips they get. I'm like,
spot on. It's so good.
Yeah, really good. Like really impressive at because I did try a little bit myself, like way back in the day, like we're talking like 2 years ago, and to get those cinematic kind of shots, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of setting up, and to get it just right. Like they've done really well with that. Yeah. I just remember like the first like House Alpha video you put out, like loads of people just commenting like, "Yeah, love this." Like you're taking the CB kind of like editing and content creation to like the next level kind of thing with a lot of what he was doing, and yeah, I can definitely see it getting better and better.
Yeah, definitely really, really good. Like if I would be able to get like any sponsors, if anyone's looking to sponsor something, then send me a DM. But like if I was able to get any sponsors, the first thing would be to just like give people money to create more content for the community, because if you can spend like just a few hours, not on work, but on stuff like this, it will get so much better so quickly, I think. And yeah, and also just attracting more people.
It can bring new players to the game as well. Yeah, like
you just need exposure for any game, and
because like for me personally, whenever I check out a new game, I might watch a video of like one of the bigger YouTubers I'd follow online, like the million subscriber guys who have been paid to play a game for like one video. And I'm like, that game looks interesting, but then I will personally look into that game myself, and I'm a PvP player, so I want to see those like juicy montages. So I'm not looking at this 1 million subscriber person's video. I'm looking at like the montages of the main community. Like how crazy can they get?
The 1 million subscriber guy gets you attracted to it, or like gets you looking for it. But then you want to know, is there a big community behind it? Is there stuff going on?
And what's end game like?
Will it be worth the time? Exactly. What is going to be the end game? Yeah.
Exactly. Like we've had quite a lot of creators come through Conqueror's Blade. Like if you generally do type in Conqueror's Blade, like playthrough or whatever, you do get like quite a lot of content creators with like 500k subscribers who have played this game in the past. Yeah. And you see like the basic level 1 stuff, which is like really funny to look back on now since I've been playing the game for like 2.5 years myself.
Yeah, true.
You just sound like, oh god, he's got pipe militia. He's just doing such horrible things right now.
I remember seeing Dyrus, one of the really good NA players from League of Legends, play the game at one point. That was just, I think, in season 3 or 4 when I started playing, and he was suddenly like streaming the game, and I hadn't watched his stream in like such a long time, and then I saw it and I was like, oh wow. And I saw how he was just struggling to play with the units, but he was really good with the hero. He would make like insane outplays with just the hero, and that's just the League of Legends, and like reflexes kicking in probably, but really cool. That's so fun.
But yeah, just to have the main community have getting better and better videos out there, like with the montage, with like the stories, and all the chaos in between. Get that out a little bit more would be really good. I feel like it isn't doing too bad. Like I feel like a good montage, you're averaging a good couple thousand views, which is quite nice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So got to keep working it up.
Yeah, just more variety attracts, keeps more players. Every player is looking for different things, so you just need to have variety as well. Like only a certain percentage are gonna play tournaments, but you need to have the tournaments, you need to have the TWs, you need to have low level entry and then high level end game as well.
100%. I think it's a lot harder to get like the newer players into it anyway, because like, you know, people talk about it all the time of like how would it be like to be a new player these days, and even though there has been a lot added over the seasons to help them out like level up faster, still to get the experience to be good enough at the game and to really enjoy the game does take a bit of time.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
I do think it's easier to get at the base level right now. I think Temple also said it during his podcast with Drayton as well. Like you can get TW ready quite quickly.
Yeah.
But then the gap to getting close to end game or unlocking like good units, really good doctrines, really good runes. Runes are easy, but really good. The doctrines especially are really hard to get. I think if you want to get like all the purple ones that are good, it's just gonna be such a grind. You can't even buy them. So
yeah, exactly. Or if you like, let's say even like the purple schematics, if you wanted to buy them in game, they're like what 500k silver each plus. Like
yeah, you're just not gonna get there in a couple of weeks or months even.
Yeah, and I do feel like the season challenges really do kind of get some people afraid, or definitely when they start throwing out the pay to win kind of like dues across. Because I'm not gonna lie, if I was a new player right now and I saw 14 seasons worth of units to unlock on top of a unit tree we already have, I'm like, whoa, that's
definitely.
Take me some time to catch up.
Definitely a ton. At the same time, you could also feel like, oh wow, this is a really deep game. There's so many things. Let's try and unlock everything.
Exactly.
I mean, I went back to League of Legends 2 weeks ago after not playing for 5 years probably. And I was like, oh damn, I thought I had a lot of champions, but guess I don't anymore. Because there's so many new ones. It's insane, yeah.
Yeah, they've really started pumping them out quite regularly, actually.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
Yeah, true. Yeah, well, that's the same thing, right? I mean, in Cover Plate, you just have tons of units. You don't have to play for a single one of them, as long as there's a lot of units that are really good. And I think that's not always the case.
Exactly. Like, most players you talk to, they have an ideal warband. They'll have like 2 or 3 picks outside of their ideal warband that, you know, they'll happily throw into their warband if need be, like depending on like the map or whatever. And overall, you're looking at like probably 8 to 10 units. So, you know, you don't need to unlock every single unit in this game.
Yeah.
But you know, everyone has their favorites.
Yeah, exactly. If they're there, you want to get them eventually.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't take your whole life to get there. I don't think it does.
Not.
But yeah.
You just never know.
I mean, if you only play an hour in a week, then it's probably going to take your whole life. But if you're a gamer and you actually game, then you should be able to get them quite quickly in the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Or we should just get another COVID period, and then you can get them in a few weeks.
Exactly.
Which is what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the biggest surge of this game ever happened. I feel like that's when I started like playing the game properly. And the COVID seasons happened. I went from playing like probably like 10 hours a week to like 40 hours a week easy.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
The fun thing for me was I was playing like 8 or 10 hours a day, I think, in the game, not gonna lie. And then I also did 2 or 3 hours mountain biking. So I even went outside, did the healthy thing as well, because there were just so many hours on a day that you couldn't do anything else.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I was doing similar, to be fair. I was still working a little bit as well. But I was always doing something. Yeah. Needed to happen, really, didn't it?
There was something going on. Well, we'll see. All right. Gotta do something else right now as well, so I'm gonna head down. Anything you'd like to add before we go to Sunday?
No, I think just overall, I feel like there's gonna be more upsets. I'm loving the league at the moment. It's becoming more and more competitive, and I think this is probably like the most competitive season. And this is including like CBL as well. I feel like this has been like the most competitive season for teams, and overall it's really good to see. And looking forward to the weekends and seeing what's going to be happening over the last 2 rounds to see what kind of playoffs we're going to be seeing and what team's going to be where.
Absolutely.
Really happy.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Gotta keep following those teams and players. Let's see.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, see you on Sunday then.